Rise, Meg.
What is thy bidding, my master?
Hello my dear friends, how are you all doing today? I'm Star Wars Meg, here to give you all of the news from a galaxy far, far away, and as always to provide you with a Mandalorian Season 2 update. So we're just 3 days away from the season finale, and I'm so excited to see the confrontation between Moff Gideon, Mando and his allies. We're probably also going to get some surprise characters as well. In today's news update, we're going to be talking about a potential tie to Yoda and Palpatine. We're also going to look at a potential tease for Ezra Bridger's character showing up, and also Mandos Moustache explained. Before I get into the news, please may I ask you to hit like down below, subscribe to the channel if you're brand new, and welcome if you are. And I just also want to say a huge thank you to all of my patrons. They helped make this channel possible. And if you're interested in supporting this channel, please check the link down below. Now without any more jibber jabber, let's get into it. We're going to start by looking at yet another Mando poster that dropped this week, and this one is revering Fennec Shand. So a few of you have said that I don't talk about her character enough, but let's talk about her now. I think Ming-Na Wen has done a phenomenal job at portraying Fennec Shand. She's probably one of my favourite female characters in Mando. And this season we have had some amazing female characters, including Ahsoka Tano, Bo-Katan, Cara Dune. We haven't seen the armor yet, but for me Fennec Shand has certainly stood out. And of course it's now been confirmed that Ming-Na Wen's character, Fennec Shand, is going to be in The Bad Batch, which is an upcoming Disney Plus series. It's in fact the spin-off of the Clone Wars, and I did cover it on my channel a couple of days ago when I went through what we can expect from each upcoming Star Wars project, so do check out my channel to look for that video. But in terms of this poster specifically, they've made her look absolutely epic, and it does justice to her character. She's been far more important in the last couple of episodes than we would have originally thought. Let me know what you think of her down below, and let's move on. So it's time to speak about Ezra Bridger. Now this is something that I covered a lot a few months ago because Rahul Kohli was teasing us for such a long time, hinting that he could be potentially playing Ezra in The Mandalorian Season 2. Well, it turns out that he's at it again. He's actually tweeted out, "At first light on the 5th day, at dawn, look to the east." And he's done a side-by-side comparison between him and Ezra, and to match Ezra's blue eyes, he's worn blue contact lenses. Now, a lot of people have suspected that the Jedi Grogu reached out to on Tython could indeed be Ezra Bridger. Has he been trolling us this whole time? Because he did come out and say it was all just a troll to get Star Wars fans all riled up. But could that have just been a veil of the fact that he is going to be in the season finale? That would be absolutely epic. I'm a huge Ezra Bridger fan and a huge fan of Rebels as well, so I have no opposition to seeing Rahul Kohli playing Ezra in this season. Or alternatively, he's just trolling us all over again and just wants more Star Wars news media attention. So this article does speak about it in a little bit more depth, so I'm going to read to you from it now. In a retweet of a fan who supports Kohli as a live-action version of Ezra, the actor wrote, "At first light on the 5th day, at dawn look to the east." This is a line originally spoken by Gandalf in The Two Towers, promising he will arrive in time to help his friends under siege at Helm's Deep. With that in mind, and in context of the Ezra retweet, Kohli seems to be making the allusion as a way of hinting to Ezra's return, possibly even in the final episode of this season of Mando, and possibly played by Kohli himself. The timing of Kohli's latest Ezra tease, along with the Lord of the Rings quote, appears as if it's meant to suggest that Ezra could show up as early as the next episode of The Mandalorian. Fans have already begun speculating as much, with Ezra being a favourite choice amongst the Jedi who could show up to answer Baby Yoda's call. It kind of pisses me off that they're still using Baby Yoda. I mean, I used it even when it was the child, but we have a name for him now, so let's call him Grogu. But anyway, what do you guys think? Is this suggesting he is going to play Ezra? And does this mean that the Jedi who's going to show up, probably at the end of next episode, will indeed be Ezra Bridger? Which also begs the question, will Ahsoka Tano show up? There are so many questions left unanswered that we need answered in the finale. I stated in yesterday's news update that the episode, chapter 16, which drops on Friday, is rumoured to be 57 minutes long, and while that is the longest episode on record, if that is to be the case, it's still not long enough. I think 90 minutes, and I know that is such a stretch because that's a full-length movie, but 90 minutes is what we need to really tie off those loose ends. What do you guys think? Am I being too irrational and asking too much of the show? I just feel like we've had so many short episodes. They need a long one, unless they're going to leave this to be the biggest cliffhanger ever and it be unsatisfying. But I doubt they're going to go that route. I do think we will get a cliffhanger, but I do expect us to be somewhat satisfied. I suppose the most depressing part is that we have to wait a year, an entire year, to get season 3. As I often like to say to things I dissent to, this is not the way. But hey, if you want a channel that speculates constantly about what's going to come next, then please subscribe to this one. So let's move on to our next article, and we're going to be talking about Din Djarin's moustache, believe it or not. So I got this question so much in my full episode breakdown on Friday. It seems that a lot of people want an answer to the question, why does Mando even have a moustache? So there is in fact an article which answers this question, and it's from Screen Crush. So they write, probably this is a dumb question, but I really want to know, why would the Mandalorian, someone who never lets anyone see his face for any reason, go to the trouble of growing and maintaining a moustache? What is the point, and who is he trying to impress? While we never see the Mando without his mask, I guess there are moments when things are quiet on the Razor Crest and Grogu isn't running around trying to steal alien eggs. In his brief moments of calm, perhaps Mando likes to sit in front of the mirror and admire his flavor saver. There probably isn't a whole lot else to do while traveling the galaxy with a baby Yoda. So Screen Crush then go on to write, the Mandalorian needs to address this somehow. There should be a flashback to Din Djarin's time as a child of the Watch, where his guardians carefully explained that while a Mandalorian must always wear a helmet, they should also maintain an A+ mouth mane in tribute to Mandalore the Great, who famously loved men with a lip strip. Okay, so obviously this article is just joking about, but it does bring up a good point. Why even bother having a moustache if nobody's there to appreciate or see it? Well, I think it's a very straightforward answer. It doesn't even matter. And if anything, he likes the feeling of it and he's doing it for himself. You've got to look good for yourself, guys, before looking good for anyone else. That's what I believe, at least. But now it's time to move on to our final article. This is from Screen Rant, and they write, the Mandalorian Easter egg connects Grogu to Yoda and Palpatine. So I will just say this is a bit of a long shot, but there is a line that's very telling in this article. Could it be setting up a potential connection to Yoda himself, or perhaps even to the cloning project and Palpatine? So let's dive into it. In Chapter 15, after getting Mayfeld out from the scrapyard he was forced to work in, the one-time Empire man asks where Mando's quote-unquote little green friend is. If that phrasing sounds familiar, it's because we heard the exact same thing in Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith, just before Palpatine and Yoda began their duel. In fairness, the line could be rather innocuous. It is, after all, an oblivious identifier of both Yoda and Grogu, so using it here could just simply be an Easter egg for a little bit of fan service, nodding towards their fight without meaning anything specifically. But while the Mandalorian is no stranger to doing that, there is often a bit more to it that could easily be the case here. Besides, being from the same species and everyone outside the show calling him Baby Yoda, there are similarities drawn between Yoda and Grogu. Similarly, connecting Grogu to Palpatine may be no accident either. Him calling the Jedi Master my little green friend is a moment of mockery and celebration as the Jedi come to an end. It is Sidious's victory lap, essentially. By using the same name for Grogu in The Mandalorian, then it could be further teasing what lies in the future with Palpatine. The use of cloning and Grogu's blood already offers a potential explanation for the eventual return of Palpatine. Now, I know a lot of you believe that the cloning facility that we saw in Chapter 12 has nothing to do with Snoke or Palpatine, but I'm going to make the prediction that it probably is going to tie in with the sequels in some way. I know not a lot of people enjoy the sequels, at least on my channel, but I do think they want some continuity to kind of make the sequels look a little bit better. Lucasfilm are very aware at this point that the sequels were not very popular amongst the die-hard fans, and so they kind of want to make them look a little bit better. At least that's my hypothesis, but as always, I'm just a fan ranting and raving here, and I could be wrong. So I'm Star Wars Meg, wishing you a phenomenal rest of the day, no matter where you dwell in the galaxy. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a big fat thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you tomorrow. Have